All right, guys, let's do this. What up? It's JoJo on the radio. This is the iHeartRadio Countdown. I haven't talked to her in years. And Melanie Martinez, I'm looking at you on Zoom right now. This is a new kind of interview, right?
It is, definitely. It's very exciting to talk to you again. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. You're hearing us all over the radio right now. Make sure you see the video. We'll explain all that in a couple minutes. Of course, we got to talk album portals. This track, Void, Melanie. I mean, this thing is blown up, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Void is my favorite song on the album, so it really feels like a huge blessing that so many people are resonating with it right now.
Describe your transition into a new life form, Melanie. How would you describe what I'm looking at right now?
Well, it's been an 8-year journey around. So since Crybaby, I started this 3-part trilogy that I had planned out for years. All the way from then even. And so essentially, Crybaby was the story of, this character being born, her childhood, and her life at that time. And then K through 12 was her school experience. And then after, her story basically ends with her passing through to the other side. And now this is her new form. So it's still the same character. It's Crybaby, but just in the afterlife, essentially. I've been really into past life regression therapy, reading a lot of books. And so the whole album goes from death all the way to reincarnation, to birth.
So fascinating. I mean, did this just hit you like years ago? Like the entire vision start to finish? Did it hit you years ago, or has the actual vision evolved along the way?
It's definitely evolved. I think during K through 12 was when I started reading a lot of books about past life regression therapy and death and the afterlife. And that's kind of what gave me the inspiration to write a whole script for Portals, which I'm still, waiting to create the film for. And just the music going from death all the way to birth, I would, constantly try to write death over and over and over again until I felt like it was the right, the right song for that feeling and that energy. So all the songs, they've been in the works for years. It's been like 4 years working on this album. So it's been really fulfilling to see it come to life. Yeah.
Portals. You set up, I believe you said this. Tell me if I got this wrong. You said it screams, death is life, life is death, death is life, continuous loop.
Yes, it's a continuous loop. So it's basically, just about how similar the afterlife is to real life, that it never ends and that we're immortal, and there's comfort in knowing that we're all connected and we're just here to grow and learn from each other. So that is the messaging of the album that, I put my intention into. So I'm hoping that it resonates with people in that way.
And you wrote, produced all of this is 100% your vision.
Yes, 1,000%. It's fun. It's fun to be able to have that creative freedom to create a character and live in it, for an entire album cycle. And the fact that, my audience is so creative and, just down for the vision, it's really exciting for me because I get to have fun and just, make cool visuals and do all this stuff that I've always dreamed about doing, but now I can actually have it come to fruition. So it's very exciting for me.
Tour kicking off soon. A lot of the dates are sold out. Talk about this tour, Melanie. What do you enjoy? Road life? Do you enjoy tour life? Give me your take on that.
I love touring. I love just meeting new people and seeing how much the music resonates with people. It's really amazing to see like everyone knowing every single song and every word to every song and just screaming it at the top of their lungs. And it feels very cathartic to be able to perform these particular songs, especially like in South America. I was in full character, full prosthetic, silicone bodysuit, and just really living in the character. And I'm just really committed to it and very excited to be able to continue to tour in this. It's going to be really fun.
Do fans, I'm guessing the answer is yes, but do a lot of fans show up dressed as your character?
It's funny. I haven't seen that yet, but I have seen like ears and like makeup and stuff like that, but not like full character. It's really hard this is like a really beautifully sculpted prosthetic by Melina Stern. So I think that it would be very hard to replicate this, but people do a pretty good job with makeup and, ears and costume. So yeah, it's been cool.
This track that everybody's talking about, Melanie, from, of course, the album Portals, Void. what can you tell me about this track, the backstory? What does it mean to you? Give me everything.
Yeah, so one day I went to the store and I walked outside because I heard this bass line in my head, and it was the first time ever that, usually I'll like record a melody idea or a lyric idea, but this was the first time ever that like an element like an instrument kind of came to me first. So it was the bass line that I heard, and I put that down, and I was just standing outside. I think it was like a Best Buy or something. I was like literally outside of Best Buy, and so I'm like recording this bass line. And I just kept hearing so many melodies come from it. I think it was the chorus melody first. And so when I went home, like a few days later, I decided to sit down and actually, try to create it on my own. And I had produced little things here and there, like just practicing, but this was the first time that I actually sat down and really focused on creating a full track from beginning to end. And I always write my own lyrics and melodies for everything, but this was the first time that I actually produced on my own. So it's really exciting for me because now, my future records, I get to sit down and create the full track on my own. And I'm excited to go through that journey as a producer.
That's because you're a boss, Melanie. That's the deal. Melanie, you said, once again, I think you said this, all the songs, if I didn't, just hit me. All the songs on Portals have triple meanings so humans can understand them while on Earth. Describe that if you can.
Okay, so what I did was essentially I read many different books that were all based off past life regression therapy, which is basically hypnotherapy where they take you back to your past life, but particularly where they take you back into the in-between life. So it's the afterlife, essentially, when you're like dead. And I just connected all these little threads from different people's transcripts. So a lot of people said that, they went to this place, which is void. They went to this place where it was, empty of anything. There was no one there, not God nor man there to judge them, just themselves. So they're like their own harsh, critic, essentially, that they're left with. And they had to try to find their way out. And the only way to find the way out is to find the light within themselves. So I thought that was really beautiful and kind of a great double meaning for, dealing with anxiety. And as someone who deals with anxiety on like a regular basis, I thought it was going to be really exciting and cathartic to be able to kind of mesh those two concepts together of like something that you experience in the afterlife and something that you experience on Earth, and make blending them into this one song. So that's what Void is about. But yeah, the whole album has, different meanings. Like death is about, transforming yourself and birthing a new version of yourself and growing. And, there's a song Light Shower on there. There's light shower is, people describe this place of a shower of light. It's like you're being, there's a light that's cleansing you and restoring you to your original vibration. And it's kind of removing all of the earth muck that you have from your last lifetime to be able to help you, I guess, go back to your original state as a soul or as a being. So I thought that was a really beautiful double meaning for just, wanting to essentially cleanse yourself of any trauma or hurt or pain or suffering from, just dealing with life. So that song is about that. So all these songs have different, double meanings, which I love doing that. All of my albums have like triple double meanings. It's fun for me because it creates a challenge to in my songwriting.
I think you know this about me. If you don't, I'll tell you, I am obsessed with the paranormal, which is
I love it. I love
right
it.
up your alley, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Ghost UFOs. I've got a podcast called Paranormalish, which I want to get you on.
Cool.
So
yeah.
my question,
I have an amazing story just pertaining to this album, actually.
please.
Yeah. So my last house that I was in for 8 years, there was this room that I called the portal room because I would always feel activity in that room and hear stuff out of that room, like 1920s music playing, like really weird stuff going on. I had a lot of 1920s, like old antique dolls in that room. So I thought that maybe it was kind of attached to that. And so I started writing music in that room, and that's kind of where all the songs from Portal started. So a lot of the songs like Moon Cycle, Leeches, Fairy Soiree, Death, Void, Spiderweb, I mean, the list goes on. Like I wrote a lot of the album in that room. And there's a couple of times where I would have the mic open and there'd be no reverb, no music playing, nothing. And I would just be trying to like formulate melodies in my head. And there was one time where you could hear a pin drop in the room, and I heard a knock on the door. And then there was another time where I was singing a melody, and then I stopped, and then I heard another voice in the microphone singing the same melody back. And there was no delay, no reverb, no nothing. And it freaked me out and sent like a chill down my spine. And I mean, I kind of tried to go with it. I was like, maybe that's confirmation. Maybe they're saying they like the melody. It's good. Go for it. So I just kept going for it. And that's actually how Death was made. So it was during that time that I was trying to figure out that song. So yeah.
Any chance you did you when you heard that voice, any chance you recorded it? And if so, did you save it?
No, I didn't. I wish. I feel like that's always how it is though. But yeah, like it was just really interesting. The mic was just open. It wasn't recording. It was just me trying to just formulate a melody idea. And then that happened, and it freaked me out, but I was like, I have to keep going with this because I think this is a really beautiful melody. And, if the ghost sang it back, then obviously that's confirmation. So
if the ghost is listening, does the ghost does he or she get a co-write?
I mean, they probably should. I gotta figure out their name first. We gotta figure that out. Yeah.
Details. Hey, let's talk the character. You are in character right now, performing with all the gear you have on. How walk me through that process. How difficult is it to perform, move, breathe, all everything?
It's pretty difficult. I mean, it's a full silicone bodysuit, so it's pretty intense. It's pretty detailed.
Wow.
And I have to it takes a while to get into this for sure. It's like, couple maybe 3, on a good day if we have time. But we've gotten the process down to like maybe an hour and a half, and that's like if we're really rushing. But yeah, it's a whole thing, the prosthetics, it's full glue on the face. It's a whole thing. They're like, scientists, these people, I swear. I mean, Melina, Sasha, like they're all so incredibly talented, and I really have fun working with them. It's been amazing.
How long does it take to get off? That must be another 3 or 4 hours, right?
No, actually, to take it off, that's the easier part. You could kind of just you just use some mineral oil and just keep working away at it. I would say that that's actually the quickest part, and I love that part too. It's like after a full day of being in the character, I'm like so excited to go back to my normal face.
And final question on it. We were talking earlier. Can you see me clearly, or
I cannot see you at all. I can't. I just go with it. I'm like, what? This is it. I'm in character.
Love it. All right. God, how can you not love this? What are your family, your friends, your inner circle? What's their reaction to the album? What's their reaction to this new character? And just success overall you're having?
I mean, my parents have been calling me crying a lot lately. They've been so proud of me and just so excited about everything. And my friends as well. I remember playing a lot of songs for my friends early on, like even like a couple of years ago, because these songs a lot of them have been written for a while. And they were like really impactful moments that actually like really gave me confirmation that certain songs were really meant to be on the album. Like when I wrote Death, my best friend, who's literally like my sister, like she's been my best friend since we were 5 years old. It's probably my longest friendship I've ever had, but all my friends are pretty much like that though. But yeah, like I played her Death after I wrote it, and she had just experienced a few actually like back-to-back passings in her family. And she listened to the song and immediately started crying. It was just like, this is it, like this is the one. And I had tried writing that song a few times, and that was the first time that I really felt like I was able to relay the feeling and emotion. And it really took me just sitting alone in a room to just write it on my own. I tried writing with other people, and it never came across the same way until then. So that was a really big moment, I think, throughout the process. And then when I played Void for my mom, she freaked out, and she was like, I remember playing it for her in the car, and I was going to visit her, and she was just like, I can't believe that you made the song like fully by yourself. Like she was so proud, and she was like, that's my favorite one. So that also gave me confirmation, because that was my favorite one too. So I was like, this is very exciting. So, and then it just kind of, the more I kept playing songs for people, the more people were resonating with it. And I've never felt so connected to a piece of work that I've created until now. I mean, Portals is seriously my favorite album I've ever made, and it's going to definitely be probably my favorite for a really long time. So I'm really proud of it.
Melanie, quick recap. Portals is out. Get on this album. Of course, the track everybody's going crazy over, among many, of course, Void. Tour, look out for the tour. By the way, there's an artist or two that have assigned me to find them a haunted room on tour. Would you ever consider staying in a haunted room? I would love to find you a haunted room someday.
Honestly, I would be so down. I'd be down.
We need to go do like a ghost thing or something, you know, one of these days.
that would be fun. Honestly, we should just go to like a nice like castle somewhere that's abandoned and just check out all the different areas. I love stuff like that, honestly. I'm like the type of person that if I feel like there's activity, I'll like put out a glass of water and be like, move the water if you're here. Like I'm fully into it. I love it. It's awesome.
Melanie, what else do people need to know? What am I forgetting? I must have forgot something.
I really hope that people resonate with this album and connect with it. And yeah, that's really it. I mean, I made this album for myself to express my own emotions, but also for other people to feel like, you know, they have someone there who can support them and be there for them through difficult times. So I definitely talk about an array of topics throughout the whole album. And I'm hoping that, you know, if there's even one song that someone connects to, that means the world to me. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Melanie, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
At the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official. Tap that cam there. Give me a little bam. Oh, whoa, look at that hand.